All right, it's July 26th, Sunday afternoon. It's getting hot out here in mid-Missouri in the summer now. Mid-90s, been this way for, a week or two. Earlier in the year, it was pretty decent weather, mid-80s, some decent amount of rain, but I think, the hot summer is here finally. So not too huge of an impact on the garden. Some things I'll show you, but just need to water a little more. Good news is it's keeping a lot of the weeds down. But, let's take a look, see how we're doing here. So this first row, obviously, is zucchini squash. Looks like a couple of those plants are dying. I ripped 3 of them out already. Some of those may be dying from the wind just came through here and just blew these leaves like sails and ripped a couple of them out of the ground. They may have weakened the root structures. But the ones that are left are producing quite well, as you can see. There are some bugs flying around, but I don't think they're chewing these leaves up too bad. Again, zucchini is still pretty prolific and getting quite a bit of crop here, as you can see. I need to pick those today. They're probably already too big. You leave for 3 days and come back, and you have a big crop on your hands. And then over here in the cucumber trellis, these have been going insane. I mean, I can't hardly keep up with the cucumbers that are coming off of here. I didn't even look yet today to see how many we have hanging here from 3 days ago. I picked them all, anything over a few inches long, and we still have a bunch of them in here. There's some big ones there. Right there is a huge one. There's probably another one here. So there, I'm going to get another dozen off of here this afternoon. But that's great, keep pumping out the cucumbers. Here's the corn row. Not doing too bad. I'm about 6 foot tall, and some of these are taller than me already. They seem to be doing pretty well. No concerns there. And then here's the tomato row. Now, I've been told I shouldn't put tomatoes next to corn, but hasn't seemed to have been causing a problem right now. A lot of green tomatoes still. We got a few of them that are ripening up here, but overall we're still producing. Just a lot of green, not yet ripe, which is fine. Some of these plants stayed kind of small. Not quite sure about that. The things that did not do well this year are the Brussels sprouts here and the row of broccoli, and then some cauliflower down there. I think I just planted these too late in the year. These are more of a spring or fall crop, and there's no heads forming on these. It's just, and the bugs just ate the shit out of them. So I could have ripped them out, but just we'll let them go and see if they recover later in the year, early in the fall. But if not, no big deal. We'll plant something else later. And these are the potatoes that my wife gave me some golden potatoes that were forming eyes, and stuck those in the ground about the middle of June. So it's been about 6 weeks, and these things look really great. So promising there. And Roma tomatoes here. A lot of fruit here, obviously. Not a lot of red ripe ones yet, but these are more bushy plants. I tried to trim these back somewhat, but kind of tough to keep up with. Looks like there's a couple of ones ripening up here, but a lot of green fruit, which is fine. I think in the next week or two, we're gonna have a lot of tomatoes to eat. And I have a couple in pots from the house. I moved down here to get them away from the hot concrete. Sweet potatoes here. These are doing fabulously. Those are started from splints. Right around June 10th or so I planted those. So it's been 6 weeks or so, and they're just taking off. And mixed in between there were some more golden potatoes. This whole row is going to be covered up, and so are the walkways here, I imagine, in a couple weeks. This row is the eggplant pepper row. I did all of these except for the jalapenos at the end. The jalapenos at the end I did from seed indoors and transplanted. Those are doing fine. But the bell peppers and eggplants I just couldn't really get to germinate much, and they didn't last very long if they did. So I bought some seedlings from a local farmer's market, and the eggplants are doing great. As you can see here, these are the long purple ones. And again, I picked these on Thursday, and so in 3 days we have another whole batch here to pick. And we cooked some of these up on the grill over the weekend, and they tasted amazing. These are doing nicely. Looks like some different kinds of bell peppers here. We're starting to finally get some fruit showing up here. They're a little behind, probably 2-3 weeks behind, but just because I started them kind of late. But nonetheless, hopefully in a few weeks we'll have some peppers out here. Here you go, there's a couple inside there you can see. So they're showing up somewhat, just a little behind. And then down here at the end we have some jalapenos, and you can see they're all starting to produce fruit. And we'll be having some salsa here. The tomatoes pretty soon, maybe a couple more weeks, those will be ripe, ready for picking. But there's a bunch of them on here, so looking real good. And then this row is all green beans, all the way down there. Planted those in a few week stages from seed out here. And not a lot of beans yet. I think they just finished flowering. So I'm hoping these start showing up. The plants look great. I don't think it's too hot for these, but we'll see what happens. There's still some flowers here, so I'm hoping in a few weeks we'll have some green beans popping out of here. Anyway, last but not least is the melon row, and the butternut squash, cantaloupe, watermelon, and pumpkin. And these have just taken over like mad. You can probably see inside here all the butternut. They're just all over. I mean, there's I can't even count them. There's so many sitting in here. And those are doing amazingly well. Obviously have a few to several weeks for those to get ripe on the vine. They're all over. Cantaloupe are kind of getting drowned out a little bit by the zucchini. I knew that was probably going to happen, but here we go. See, they're starting to, get some crops there. So we had some cantaloupes forming, and not bad size. This is probably about the softball size right now, maybe a little bigger. There's probably a few more in here. Hard to see with all these leaves. But nonetheless, hope to get a few cantaloupes out of this patch. And then the watermelons next to it are doing quite well. This is some of the larger type melons. Let's see if I can see any in there to show you. Here we go, here's one. There's a few like that, and they obviously have several weeks to go. Here's another big one here. And then over here to the right, there's more of the rounded melons, and I have a bunch of those in here. And these are probably getting close to being ripe. Quite a few of these, which look great. And then on the other end here are the pumpkin plants. See if we can see anything inside here. Let's see, there you go, there's one. There's a pumpkin plant in there somewhere. See it behind the vines. Back there. So we'll have some pumpkins hopefully for the kids to carve up here in end of September. Maybe too early for Halloween, but hey, is what it is, right? So again, so far so good. A few things not doing too well in the heat and the late start, but I think if I keep these watered, and the weeds are knocked down pretty good, so that's not a problem. The bugs, for the most part, haven't been a problem. We'll keep this rolling. So I'll check back here in a couple weeks and give you an update. From mid-Missouri, July 26th. Take care.